The rest of the news Monday. Good morning, this is Dan Earhart. It was 100 years ago that the mayor of Tokyo gifted the United States capital 3,000 cherry trees. Yesterday morning, 6,000 people turned out for opening ceremonies of this year's Cherry Blossom Festival. The weather was cool, skies cloudy, making for better close-ups than panoramas. Every year is a trick to coincide the opening with peak bloom. This year was really a stretch, officially the warmest winter on record ever for Washington, D.C. Festival opening had already been moved up twice. Peak bloom probably was last week. Taking this warmest winter ever in Washington as an example, a new study from the Potsdam Institute says that the recent incidence of weather records is no longer normal. This morning, the Supreme Court begins discussion about the constitutionality of Obamacare. Oh, really? Well, hold the phone. It's not quite that simple. This could be all over before the shouting even begins as the can kicks down the road until 2015. First order of business this morning is a ruling on whether or not the Supreme Court is or is not actually barred from even making a ruling at this time, or must wait until after Obamacare comes into being and someone has been affected by its dictates. The issue is as follows. Can the government mandate people to buy health insurance and then fine them if they don't? Well, that provision doesn't begin until 2014 and wouldn't be enforced until 2015. In what's being called an obscure 19th century law, the Anti-Injunction Act of 1867 will be the subject of this morning's arguments. This stuff is so dry that everybody can't wait to get outside to look at the cherry blossoms. It will be the IRS that will levy the fine in the 2015 tax returns against people who don't purchase health care. The Anti-Injunction Act of 1867 holds that the Supreme Court cannot rule on the whole matter until after that occurs. What's even weirder is that both the administration and the 26 states that have brought this lawsuit want a decision right now. So, who argues the case that the court can't make a decision until 2015? A lawyer, a private lawyer, hired by the Supreme Court to represent that point of view this morning, arguing that because enforcement falls to the IRS, it's a tax, not a penalty. So, in conclusion, this may be all over before it begins. Hey, as long as we're talking about lawyers, here's one in Los Angeles who overreached while being a neighborhood busybody and lost. All Tara Cola of Silver Lake wanted to do was grow organic flowers in her backyard that she's taken to sell at farmers markets for several years now. Her neighbor, the lawyer of our story, filed a complaint based on a technicality that a local zoning ordinance only permitted growing vegetables, not flowers. Tara says most people don't realize that cut flowers they buy to bring home are laden with pesticides. So Tara fought back against her bully neighborhood lawyer, and she won. The city of Los Angeles officially changed the ordinance. Variety is for sale. Times have been better for the 107-year-old trade, which as recently as the 90s had annual revenues of $60 million. A paywall put up around their website in 2010 slowed things down, while the Hollywood Reporter operates a free competitive website. Variety began life as a New York City weekly in 1905, covering vaudeville. An article in The Atlantic today with a chart named Household Gadget Adoption shows the fastest adopted gadgets of the past 50 years. Spot 19 goes to color TV, 14 the cell phone, 12 the cordless phone. Remember those. Number 9 the answer machine. Those were so much fun. Number 4 is the VCR. Let's cut to the chase. Number 1, the boombox. See you tomorrow. Dan Earhart, the rest of the news.